same question to our District 4 Council candidates, and Ms. Belmont, you're first. What do you hope to accomplish?
I started in my first statement about talking about making our community great. So I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about what I mean by that. Let's start with education. And to me, to make this community great, we need to not be pitting rich schools versus poor schools, existing schools versus new schools. And we need to be the first to stand up and say the state and the federal mandates that are weighing down on our educators, that are draining the life out of being teachers and therefore draining the life out of learning, that is not acceptable. That's what being a great community is about. Being a great community means that anybody who wants to live here can afford to live here. And that means not just housing, but services and amenities. When you live in the second richest county in the country, being poor is that much harder. And we need to be providing those services and those amenities to allow you to live here. Thank you very much. I only have 2 minutes. So, you hold your applause to the end. I want to talk about community engagement. We need places, a great community has places where you can gather, where you can meet your friends and your neighbors and discuss issues and your lives. You need places where you can have a distinct role in the decision-making process that affects our county. I want to talk about being on the cutting edge of environmental design and architecture. We as a community need to start mandating that new buildings start incorporating energy conservation, start using renewable energy. And that I know that there's new certifications for environmental design for neighborhoods. I want to see Columbia downtown be the first in the country to meet environmental certification for neighborhoods.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh did bring up a very good point. I would ask that you do hold your applause until after. A second
kind of appreciated.
Excuse me. The second note I would ask that those of you who have electronic devices on or with you, cell phones, please turn them off. Let's be respectful. All right, I'm sorry. Second question, what do you hope to accomplish in the day life?
You can applaud anytime you like, whistles, whatever. Ditto what they said, but I have one other thing that I would like to, being a real estate broker, I'm very much involved with affordable housing and trying to keep it affordable. Howard County right now in July, I believe our average price was $460,000 countywide. Every home sold at the average new house. I've got a program that would actually, and I do it now in my own company, I would be able to implement it in the county itself, where I elected to the county council, where the county would equity share with firefighters, policemen, teachers, any of the public service individuals whose incomes may not be sufficient enough to buy a home in the community. The county would equity share with them, help with closing costs, down payment, even some of the mortgage payment for a period of time. The county would also retain a portion of ownership in that property. After a set period of time, it could be 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever, the property would be either refinanced and that individual would pay off the county because the equity would have gone up, or the property would be sold and the proceeds dispersed back to the county, so they'd be able to then reinvest into a new individual. That individual who just sold that house would take their profit and turn it into another property. I started out buying properties the very same way with my parents. When I couldn't afford to buy a home, they equity shared with me. After the first home, I was able to buy another and another and another. I now own 17 homes in Howard County. So this is a program that I feel very strongly about. I know I could implement it with the county, and I can help keep housing affordable within the county. So that is one of my primary reasons for goals that I hope to accomplish. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Each and every one of us wants to make the community better. We've heard many comments and many ideas for how to do it. And I believe that as we look at this, we will see many commonalities. Because I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that the very first and most important thing that I would want to do and accomplish is to continue to keep our school system as strong as it is and to make it even better for each and every one of our children. That is the most important thing we do as a community. It is our future. If we don't take care of it, where will our future be? I would also like to be the leader of you as we go forward to figure out what we want our downtown to be, so that we have an open, engaging process, a process that reflects our shared values, where we talk about it, we decide what we want to do, and we are very clear about it. Not only are we clear about the downtown, but we are very clear about its impact all the way up Little Patuxent Parkway to the hospital and around and encompassing the Wild Lake Village Center. That, to me, is the entire downtown, and it tends to be forgotten. So I feel a very strong need to be a voice for that in the community. I also would like us to really think about how do we do affordable housing. We'll all talk about it, but the reality is, how will we accomplish it? And I believe that what we have to do is to make sure we have affordable housing requirements in every single one of our residential zoning districts. We need to make sure that we do not put it in places all centered in one place or another, that in fact it is throughout our entire county so that each and every person can benefit.
Thank you.
I mentioned earlier, but I am a mechanical engineer, and as a young person, I was a budding mathematician. I really looked up to Albert Einstein, some of the things he said, and one of the things I think he said best was, why memorize everything when you can write it down? So if you don't mind, I'd like to read you my political platform that I'm going to be publishing as well rather shortly. But these are things that I believe in and I want to accomplish when I'm on the county council. And first and foremost, I am determined to restore the fiscal discipline to the county's budget process. I want to hold the line on county spending, and my long-term goal is to reduce property and income taxes back to a reasonable level. Now, I'm a proponent of the community planning process, but I reject the current plan for Town Center because of the 5,500 plus units they want to put down in there. And what I really want to know is why this wonderful charrette process wasn't started 3.5 years ago when the Columbia Plaza Towers was first proposed to the county. It is now going up. I will also advocate for the county's nonprofit organizations by encouraging county residents to contribute time and resources and funding. I understand the need to maintain an excellent team of first responders, and I will support the needs of different departments providing security to our county. I support the legislation that caps the property taxes for senior citizens that Mr. Merton was proposing last week or 2 weeks ago. I will also institute the recap program that a group of county council candidates, including myself, proposed back in April, which allows you to carry your property tax cap assessment protection with you to a new home, not allowing you not to worry about or have property taxes limit you from buying your next home. And with 3 small children, or 3 young children now in the Howard County schools, and my wife was a public school teacher, I will certainly continue to support our school system, striving to maintain its #1 status in the state. And lastly, I will continue to support the county's initiative to work with the surrounding jurisdictions and state officials to improve our public transportation process.
Thank you.